Euro USD, now we start with the daily chart. Okay, based on daily chart, if you refer back to my last video, the price was here. We had this correction and the trend line. We mentioned that the price can drop. Now the question was whether this is the end of the move and this down move is the start of the down move, or we can expect to get the correction here before we get the up move. And what we explained, we were interested in, we will have a correction here for the next move up, because we were expecting the price can come to this level, then from there maybe we get the down move. Okay, but now the question whether this is the start of the down move or we're looking for the bigger correction. And mostly we are more, as we explained in my last video, mostly we're getting the bigger correction. That means we get a correction before we get the next up move. Whether a small or big correction we call it, we're getting the correction here. Okay, based on daily chart, we don't have any much more information. In this case, we move to lower time frame. We want to see how we can trade for the next week. Okay, based on forward chart, if we compare this one to this, when we move to the indicators, we see based on MACD, we have a divergence, and even based on this one. Okay, that's why now the question is, does mean the divergence, it doesn't mean we will get the up move, but mostly based on our analysis, we can expect the price from here can reverse. Now the thing is whether from here or lower, we are not sure. How deep this one can go, we are not sure, but mostly we are interested in the buy if we get the buy setup. Okay, even based on the in term of the risk and reward can give us a better trade setup. Okay, in this case we put our trend line here, and as I say, we are more interested in the buy setup if we get the buy. Now the question is, can we expect to get what we have here? Can we expect to get one more? That means we will have 1, 2, 3 in relative to this correction for the next move down, or this is the only correction we have it, and this is the end of the move. Also, we need to, when we analyze, now the thing is whether this is the only correction and this is the end of this move. If yes, that means mostly we can expect the up move. Or may this is because as we can put in terms of the length, they are not similar. May we will get one more similar to what we have here or lower, we get one more. In that case, we will have 1, 2, 3 with the running flat for the next move down before we get the up move. Okay, these are the things we need to know for the next week. All right, anyway, we don't have any much more information, and what we are more interested, again, for the up move, the only question is how deep it can go, because based on two different analyses based on this correction just now we explained. Okay, in this case we move to lower time frame, 1 hour, you see how we can trade. Okay, based on 1 hour chart, if we put this one in relative to this, based on MACD, we have a divergence. Based on the another one, we don't have it. Okay, anyway, again, how deep it can go, we are not sure. That means may we get similar to what we have here. Next week, we get the correction and down move. That means if we're looking for the sell with a small correction, still we can look for sell. But any sell we consider as a short-term sell because we are not sure how deep it can go. Okay, and mostly we are more interested in the buy, as again whether this is the only correction and we can get up move from here, or we can expect similar to what we have here, one more, we get the bigger correction as I explained, and we can get one move down before we get the up move. Okay, what I want to say is that we're looking for the buy. The best things, the most safest way is the most safest way is we wait and the price break this line, we get the correction before we get the buy. Okay, this is the safest way, but sometimes we won't get the correction and the price can break and continue, or if we get the correction, we get the higher price. Okay, and the reason we want to look for buy from this correction is that in terms of the risk and reward, if we can get any buy within this range. Okay, that's why again we're looking for buy. If we get the buy, any buy setup, whether from here or the price drops somewhere lower, we get within this range. As long as price come to this trend line, we need to see if there is a continuation and can break, we keep it. Okay, in that case we consider this is the only correction. But if we get any buy, the price come to this trend line, we see it's not moving, we take out the trade because we will have the second option, including 1, 2, 3 for the bigger correction for the next move down. Okay, again, if we get the buy within this range below the trend line, as long as the price come to this level, based on the both option for this correction, we need to see whether it can break or not. If not, we take out the trade. And the another option is if we don't want to trade below this trend line, we wait the price break this trend line, give a correction before we take the trade. But if we get this correction in terms of the risk and reward, we get the buy below this line in terms of the risk and reward, it can give us a better trade setup. Okay. Anyway, we don't have any buy setup right now, and next week we want to see what we will get from here. Okay, and again, how deep it can go, we are not sure. Any sell setup we consider as a short term. That means if we get a correction, whether a small correction, big correction, we can sell it. But as long as we get into the profit, we try to start to manage it. But if we get the buy, we see how we get the buy, how deep it can go. If we get the buy, as long as the price comes to this level, we need to see whether there is a continuation or not. In this case, we just follow the chart when the market open. We see what we get. If there is any update or any changes, then I will share on YouTube. Thanks.